I'm Chan Seals in Washington. The Gabby Petito case has captured the country's attention, and for good reason. But there are other cases, other families in grief tonight that we think as a country we should be following more closely. Some involve black and brown families, and generally they don't get as much attention. That includes the case of Jelani Day, a 25-year-old graduate student from Illinois. He suddenly disappeared in late August. His car, wallet, even his clothes have been found, but police haven't found Jelani. His mother, Carmen Bolden, was with us last Friday.
I was very frustrated with the fact that Jelani hadn't been getting the coverage. Jelani's been missing for 24 days. And like I said, it seems like the effort to find him has slacked down.
And that effort is something we're staying on top of here at Newsy tonight as the Day family tries to gather more information from police and also from the public. Jelani's mother, Carmen Bolden, joins us again tonight. Carmen, first of all, I thought about you all weekend after we talked. The last time we spoke, you said police really weren't telling you much, even though you've been asking, give me information. When was the last time investigators got in touch?
You know what, Chance? Today was the first time that I've heard from the Peru Police Department since September 4th.
Wow.
So that's an 18-day gap.
Did they tell you anything?
Today they contacted me because they wanted me to identify some clothing that was found along the river bank where this unidentified body was found. Today they wanted to tell me that there were 2 females from the ISU campus that found this clothing. And keep in mind, the search that took place when the body was found, this clothing was found a mile from where this body was found. All of a sudden, my frustration now is that they keep telling me that they have these witnesses that find things. There was a witness that found his wallet, but who is this witness? Why aren't they talking up? Now it's these 2 girls from ISU that were doing their own investigation. Why aren't they speaking up? Why didn't they? You know, I got all these speculations online from these different groups that have formed with Jelani's name. And you got all these Facebook detectives, these social media detectives. You would think that when they found something, these people would be like, oh, I found this in this area. I've heard nothing until today from the Peru police, who were rude to me and act like I bothered them because I had questions. The coroner today was so disrespectful to me because I asked questions. He even told me he was angry with me and that did I want to find out if this was my son or not.
What?
This is how I've been treated. And I'm not going to be quiet and sit back and accept this treatment. My son is important. You just cannot come up with clues now and think that I don't have questions behind these clues. You don't have questions behind this evidence that you're finding. That you waited 18 days to get back in touch. That now, all of a sudden, that popped up 18 days. Because the last time I heard from Peru was September 4th when I sat in a room with them and they told me they found this unidentified body. Since then, I've made 2 calls to them and left messages. I did not get a call back. I have not gotten a follow-up to find out what they found out, if they've spoken to anybody, if they had any tips or leads. But today, after I have been on news stations and I'm telling them that I need help because I've got to do leg work to find my son. Now today there's clothing that was found
Yes.
And was it his?
The clothing doesn't look to appear to be clothing that may have been Jelani's, but still,
You want answers. You want answers, obviously.
I need answers. I need help. I need
Absolutely.
assistance. I need to be afforded the same. I need to be afforded the same opportunity they just gave, like I told you last week, this young white girl and her family, that they found their daughter within 3 days, and now it's been 29 days, and I have no answers about my son.
Carmen, when we talked about Gabby Petito's case, we talked about how the FBI can get involved in cases. Things move very, very rapidly. You know, her case did cross state lines, so I believe they were automatically injected into this. But, you know, to find a location, to find identification. And I believe you asked the FBI to get involved for those very reasons, to say you can get the answers. Do you know why they haven't?
When I asked why the FBI, no, I asked what does it take for the FBI to become involved in Jelani's case. I was told that it's being discussed. I don't know how long you need to have a discussion about finding a missing Black male. What at this point, when I asked that question, I think it was like day 24, 25. At that point, what is there needing to be discussed?
Right. Where's the urgency? You know, I'd imagine that at this point, it's more about more than just finding Jelani. It's also important to know the circumstances, because, as you said, it's confusing to get these disparate pieces of information and, you know, clothing, and the cell phone's there and the car is here. And to just want to know, what were the circumstances, you know?
Not only the circumstances, Chance, it's how things are being taken care of, how things are being conducted. You know, that body was found on September 4th. Today is September 22nd, and a mile from where the body was found, now there's clothing discovered by 2 ISU students, quote unquote, that were out doing their own investigation, that knew where to look. That at first, when they seen the clothing, this is what I was told, that they didn't think nothing of it. They got in their car, they drove away, but then they looked at a picture of Jelani and decided, oh, that's what Jelani had on. And then they called the police. Who are these girls?
Right. And do
Where
you
are
feel like,
these
is it,
people?
does it kind of feel like, why are we at a point to where random people, and I'm sure they have a good heart to go out there, but why are random people making the discoveries that you would think basic police work would discover?
That they should have discovered. Like, do you stop searching areas where you find an unidentified body and don't go further up to see if you can find other things that are still missing? So, again, I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know. There's all kinds of speculations in my mind about who's involved and who's doing what and why, or I don't know what to think anymore. All I know is that law enforcement, the local law enforcement, is not doing their job. And if they can't do their job, get somebody in that can. Get the help you need. Put aside your ego. Get me the help, because it's not about them. It's not about me. It's about my son. I want to know where my son is.
You actually went to the extent of hiring a private investigator, I think, right? Why go that route? Is it because you lost confidence? Are there parts that you specifically need to fill in that you want their help with?
Yes. I had to get a private investigator. I was told originally, the first weekend when Jelani went missing, the detective told me, Carmen, I'm getting off of work, and that If I don't get anything, it's a possibility I can come in tomorrow and I can look at some information. But if not, I'll keep in touch with you. I couldn't wait. If I'm sitting there and Jelani's out there anywhere and I have to make the effort to find him, I've got to get who's going to help me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to do what I had to do. That's like me giving up on my son. So yes, I hired a private investigator. I got a lawyer. I had to do anything that I had to do to get my son. And that's what my goal and that's what my focus is. I'm going to find Jelani.
You know, when I hear you talk and when you and I connect, and I think of, you know, you're kind of like a soldier at this moment going through something that's really hard. And I know you don't have it in you, but you have to, because as you said, this is my child. I'm not going to give up on my child. Our last conversation, Carmen, it's been shared by millions of people. People have been spreading the word. Have you felt that outpouring?
I have. I'm appreciative of it as well. I'm grateful that people that don't even know me, that don't even know Jelani, they're praying and they're believing with me that I find Jelani and I bring him home alive. There are people out there that do not know me and do not know Jelani that have contributed to our GoFundMe, that have offered to do things, that are asking me, well, how can I help you? I've had people that have traveled that have no clue who me or Jelani or my family is, and they've come out to help us, and I'm grateful.
And as you try to amplify the search for Jelani,
I'm sorry?
as you try to amplify the search for Jelani, I just wonder, is there anyone in particular, famous or not famous, who you'd want to share his story even further?
You know what, Chance? I don't even care about how famous anybody is at this time. I just want, in order to help me get the help that I need, if you have a large platform, share the information so that they can see how serious and how important and how urgent it is to find my son. I know that then I have people telling me there's people that go missing all the time. My heart goes out to these people. I promise that it does. Because I know how they feel.
Right.
But it's important for me to find my son. I'm not saying it's not important to find nobody else's child, but it's important for me to find my son. And I'm going through any extremes. I'll do anything to find him.
If people do hear Jelani's story, if they hear your words tonight, Carmen, and think, I want to be one of those people who can help in some way, what is the best way to help?
Continue to, number one, continue to pray for us and believe with us that Jelani will be found alive and healthy and safe. Also, share, keep reposting all of the information that I'm posting on Facebook and social media, because I need the attention. I need the help to find my son. If they can contribute to our GoFundMe, they can do that as well. I need all the help that I can get.
And that money, I would assume, goes to lawyers, private investigators, things of that sort.
That is right.
Okay. Carmen, we want you to know you have an open invitation to come back any night, as does the police department. You put forward some pretty serious things here, and they are also welcome because we have some questions for them. We want you to know we're going to continue following the search for Jelani. Those of us of faith, we will continue lifting you up in prayer, and just want you to know we're with you.
I appreciate it. And I will be glad to come back with the police department. At this point, like I told you before, I don't know why God chose me for this journey. I know that I always believe that He prepares you for things. He made me strong like this for a reason. So if I have to talk to anybody, I have to speak up against anybody, I will. I don't have that fear because I'm putting that aside because that's my son. And I'm going to do anything to get my son.
Boy, Carmen, I know you're strong, big heart, and I know what you're saying there. A mom, it doesn't matter if there's fear. It doesn't matter if people are telling you no. You're saying, no, we will do it. Carmen, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
More Newsy tonight right after this.